Jacksonville Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Hey, we got a lot of work today, okay? This is when it should suck. Life should suck in training camp.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
Every day I'm hustling.
I think just for the young guys, it's the mental. You know, how much can they retain from the last time we were together in June to now? And then the vets just kind of picking up, you know, where they sort of where they left off and you know, maybe knocking a little rust off and getting back into it.
Looks, fires, deep downfield, got a man. That's Christian Kirk along the left sideline. Touchdown, Jacksonville! A 29-yard touchdown pass.
Man rush, throws downfield, looking for Thomas again. He's got it, and LSU strikes back quickly.
Now he wants to throw it back. And a ball picked off by the Jaguars. Josh Allen, has he done enough this year yet? He picked off the double pass and ran it back inside the 10-yard line. Dropping is Richardson, dropping, fires deep downfield, and that ball is intercepted by Tyson Campbell. He picked it off. He picked it off at the 43-yard line of the Indianapolis Colts.
Ball, man. Locked in for another 4 years. Love y'all. Ready to get to work. You know, bring the Super Bowl to Jacksonville, man. Duval!
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
Well, Tyson Campbell says he's locked in, and he is locked into a contract. He's also got a minor ankle something going on that's kept him out of training camp practice Saturday and today, at least as a full participant. He's been a partial participant those 2 days, so hopefully he gets back locked in. And Pockets, let's hope that the entire offense gets locked in at some point in this training camp, as it's not been a great start on the offensive side of the football for the Jaguars through the first 4 days of camp. Day 5 out there on the field right now. Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, Mike Dempsey on his way in as he was out at training camp this morning, so he'll join us momentarily here on the show. Pockets, I hear that you had an adventurous weekend with the boys.
Yeah, one of the days was no sleep, but, you know. I caught up with. I'm still young. It's not hard for me to catch back up.
No, I hear you. Hopefully you do get caught up, my friend. As look, we've all been there when you've done the camp thing in the summer. You usually stop doing that after you get done being the summer camp age. Apparently, all you got to do to get back into that is be a coach.
Yeah, you know, practice starts today, man, so ain't no stopping.
Right? No doubt. The Jaguars, by the way, this morning, we'll get to all the reaction to what's been going on in the field at training camp throughout the past 4 days. Day 5 again in training camp right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They did send out, in case fans were wondering, when will they do the in-stadium training camp practice? Well, they announced that this morning to everybody. That'll be coming up this Saturday, August 3rd. It'll be from 10 to 12:30. Parking is free. Obviously, admittance is free, but you do need to register in advance to be able to get in and see the Jaguars training camp practice out in the stadium this Saturday. You just go to Jaguars.com. You can find all the information you need there. The gates will open at 9 o'clock. Again, practice starts at 10. You can get over there and park if you want to do like a mini tailgate before you go in for a training camp practice. You can. As the parking lots will be opening at 8 o'clock. Again, the gates will open at 10 or at 9, and the practice start at 10. You can Lot J, Lot E, P, X, and Z will all be open to everyone out there if they want to head out for that. Today is the 5th day of training camp practice, and the reports from out of camp indicate that 3 of the first 4 days, the defense has been the better side for the Jaguars, and it could have been all 4, with just the room to argue that one of those days before today was played to a bit of a stalemate between the two sides. Defenses, as Coach Pederson said this morning, are usually ahead of offense early on in camp. I know that Josh Allen up in Buffalo, who has had his own turnover issues, has certainly had those issues during the first week of camp up there with the Bills as well. I see some similarities between how Allen and Trevor have started their camps this year. They are both players who are unafraid to try things, right? They got the big arms. They do it in games, so it would be silly not to expect them to do a little bit of that at training camp as well. This year, they are players who are also dealing with new faces all over the place as far as who they're going to be throwing to. Allen certainly has more of that to deal with than Trevor does, but the Jags adding Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr. to be two of the top 3 wide receivers on the depth chart. That's a lot of new for quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and we'll see how they adjust as they get into it. I did see Brian Thomas Jr. caught a 70-yard touchdown in a 7-on-7 this morning. I think it was on Darby that he caught it. Beathard on the throw for the Jags on that particular. So a little bit better, it sounds like, from the offense as we welcome in Mike Dempsey. How was it out there today, my friend?
I can't give you a fair representation. You know what I mean? Because I'm leaving right as things are starting to get good. Tomorrow will be more telling when the pads go on. Wednesday's going to be the longest practice so far of training camp. As Doug Pederson alluded to, the next few days are when guys are going to start to separate themselves. But I will say, Tone, I was out there Saturday, and it wasn't just, new guys or trying to take some shots, trying to squeeze the ball in. Trevor Lawrence had an off day. He just did, right? Yeah. And the defense, the coverage was very tight. But he still didn't throw the ball very accurately. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. It's just a fact. It is what it is, right? So today I watched, and when I was there, they were doing full unit offense, but no defense, right? And just wanted to see, was he putting the ball in the right spot? Was he leading his receivers? Were they having to wait for it? And for the most part, he looked much sharper today for the time I was there. It doesn't take much, okay? It really, to get the fans excited. Yeah,
no doubt.
Evan Ingram ran a 9 route up the right sideline, and Trevor hit him for what would have been a big gain. And that's no defense. The fans, that was the loudest cheer I heard when I was out there. I didn't get to see the Brian Thomas touchdown that I just had gotten in the car, heard Dan and Jeff talking about it on the way back over. So there you go.
Yeah. Look, it's we're waiting on all this to click for him on offense, right? It's been a slow first week of camp. It's not a surprise that the defense would be ahead of the offense. It's a little bit surprising that there was as much of the defense being ahead of the offense as it has been early on in camp.
And no one is, I don't think, when you report what you see, like I saw Rick Ballou tweet out something like, this is a really bad day for the offense. And someone replied to him like, well, you're just engagement farming. You're just trying to get people stirred up. And Rick was like, no, look, I've been going to a lot of these practices for a lot of years. Yeah. And this is one of the worst I've seen. And I would agree with that. We were all standing around going, what's going on? It just wasn't clicking. No one is saying that means this is what it's going to be like against the Miami Dolphins in week 1, right? Just as if Trevor Lawrence goes out there and has a day in 11-on-11s where he's perfect, that also doesn't mean that's how it's going to be. But I do want to start to see him stack some of those kind of days up. That's been my concern. I'm not, like I said, come out of the first week healthy, and I'm really not going to have too many complaints. Sure. And they did that, so I'm going to try not to be a hypocrite and go back on that. But, anyone who's out there, you're probably scratching your head a little bit with some of the throws you saw on Saturday.
No doubt. Whatever injuries they're dealing with are pretty minor at this point. A couple of ankles, right. Like Jarian Jones. It's nothing serious in the injury department, so hopefully that stays true for the rest of the camp and getting into the regular season. Doug Pederson spoke before training camp practice this morning. We'll hear more from him as we get into the show today. But the Jaguars' offensive struggles being a storyline early in camp. Obviously, we've been talking about it already on the show so far. We can start the show with letting you hear what Coach Pederson had to say about that this morning, including he was just asked, his first question was just about the offense 4 days in.
Right, 4 days in. So still installing, still learning, still teaching, progressing okay. It's obviously we're not a finished product, and we just continue to learn and grow and working different combinations up front in the O-line, working different combinations at receivers and running backs. Just we're still in this developmental phase, developing all our players. As we get going deeper into camp, we'll get more specific on lineups and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like he's basically RELAX, right? He's doing something like it's 4 days into camp, but it's all we have to judge is what we see in those 4 days, right? And so the offense has been behind the defense. That's never unexpected, but it is a new defense as well, and these guys are adapting to it. Ronald Darby, I know he, apparently gave up that touchdown today against Brian Thomas. He's been having a hell of a camp. I mean, he's been sticky like glue out there. So the follow-up for Doug Pederson, is he worried about what he's seen from the offense?
I mean, look, we're 4 days in, and they're going to happen. Typically at this time, you would say defense is probably ahead of the offense. I mean, it's always been that way, and any turnovers can be cause for concern, but we continue to coach and teach. But on the other side of it, that's what you want your defense to do. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle.
Right. There's always that. Yeah. Do you celebrate the defense? Do you bemoan the offense, or vice versa?
Camp, yeah.
Here's what I'd like, Tone. Tomorrow the pads go on. Wednesday you got a super long practice. They're going to be off Thursday. By the way, John Shipley will join us in studio on Thursday from Jaguar Report. Saturday is the in-stadium scrimmage. But basically, by this time next week, a week from now, I hope the narrative has just flipped, that at least evened out a little bit. Let's see some of those successes, particularly with some of the new receivers, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas, and start to build the confidence on both sides of the ball right now.
No doubt about it. The Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day today: what player are you most interested in hearing about when the pads go on for the Jags for the first time tomorrow at training camp in 2024? We got a lot more from Doug Pederson still coming up on the show this morning. Special teams coordinator Heath Farwell spoke after practice, or before practice on Saturday. Evan Ingram met with the media. We didn't get to any of that on Friday. Devin Lloyd this weekend. Hayes Carline caught up with Travis Etienne. Me O'Brien with Cooper Hodges. Chad Muma, Devin Duvernay. I don't even know how we're going to fit all this in.
We're not going to get to all that, man. But it's all out there in some social media channel, the YouTube channel, whatever. All that's available for you, through 1010XL's various platforms.
We will get to as much of it as we possibly can, and we'll start with continuing with the head coach, Doug Pederson. When we return on the other side, Tony Smith, Mike Dempsey, Dylan Denmark here with you as we get things rolling for a new week of training camp with the Jaguars here in 2024 here on Jaguars Today.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Nothing unusual about a match between Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. They've played now 60 times, more than any two players have ever met, but it's almost always in a final. Instead, it was an Olympic second-round match, which would normally draw a sparse crowd. Instead, a packed house at Roland Garros that saw some Djokovic domination. He won 10 of the first 11 games, but the aging, banged up, and rusty Nadal did come alive with the crowd behind him. He won 4 games in a row until Djokovic pulled out the victory. Nadal still playing doubles with Carlos Alcaraz. He is insane yet whether he's going to retire. Women's tennis today, easy wins for Coco Gauff and the top-seeded Iga Swiatek. Still to come, 4 medals will go out in swimming. The men have the 200-meter freestyle, the 100-meter backstroke. For the women, the 100-meter breaststroke and the 400 IM. And there's the men's gymnastics final. U.S. hasn't won a medal since 2008. With this Summer Games update, I'm John Stashower, Westwood One Sports.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
At Lowe's, save big every day. Right now, get a free pneumatic nailer when you buy a pallet of Metabo HPT nails. And there's more. Save 10% on select shingles when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Save money while beautifying your home with Renewal by Anderson with their energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Their exclusive Fibrex product is chic, tough, easy to maintain, and twice as strong as vinyl. Right now, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free, plus 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
You know, Santa's on the beach this time of year, but the elves at Beard's Diamonds have been busy.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
The Sunshine State says it all in the nickname. That summer sun in Florida can take its toll on an air conditioning unit and send your electric bill through the roof. Florida Home AC can help you handle the heat with a brand new AC unit with low monthly payments and over $3,000 in federal tax credits on select systems. So this summer, don't sweat it out. Cool off with Florida Home AC, the official AC company of the Jaguars. Call them today, 777-4300, and check out their tremendous savings on a brand new AC system.
Attention skilled electricians, are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
This is Pre-Tection. Yep, Pre-Tection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Family owned and managed for 20 years, Hidden Hills Golf Club boasts a unique and welcoming golfing atmosphere. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to book your next round on our Arnold Palmer signature course. You'll be glad you did.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Yeah, no, he's been doing a good job. He's competing. He's still learning. He's still growing. Learning the offense, but in a good place. Takes coaching well, not only from us but from his peers on the field, and from Trevor, and it's right where he needs to be.
That's Coach Pederson talking about Brian Thomas Jr. this morning. We'll hear more from Coach here in just a moment. Certainly, it's hard to figure out exactly what it's going to look like for Brian Thomas early on, right? Like we talked about it when he got drafted. It's the expectations for his rookie season. We've had those questions throughout the offseason, Mike. It's hard to figure out exactly what the expectation level should be when they get ready to go down to Miami. The first week has been slow for Brian Thomas Jr., but that's just another piece of the offense that's been slow. There hadn't been a whole lot cooking on that side of the ball here early on, but it's good to at least hear the signs that it's cracking a little bit for him here.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, as you watch him run routes, it's just evident that he's a superior level athlete.
Absolutely.
He's got the frame, he's got the speed. In fact, I'm watching prior to when they're doing like teamwork with the entire offensive unit together, and generally the side where the media lines up, if you're watching from the grandstand, it's on the right side of the Miller Electric Center. That's where a lot of the receivers and tight ends do their early like one-on-ones and things like that. And Chad Hall's got him running with a big kind of tackling dummy to where they want to cut underneath it, put their hands up, they're getting the ball across the middle. And everyone's trying to run it, as full speed as much as possible, chop your steps, make sure your brakes are clean. And he's running it as fast as everybody, but he looks like he's running it in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because he's like, his stride is so long, his speed is so, it's effortless. And when it all clicks for him, I have no doubt. I mean, Tony, you look at him, you watch the drills, and athletically, he's just a cut above what else they can put on the field right now.
Sure. And that's why there's the idea that at some point he's going to be a one.
Some point.
It's just a matter of how long that's going to take to develop whatever that needs to be. And it might be. We just don't know when exactly that's going to happen for him. Coach Pederson, let's get back to some more of what he had to say this morning, including we'll start with a bit of an injury update. Not a whole lot there, but he did update what's going on with a few guys that are dealing with that kind of stuff this morning.
Yeah, Jaron and Tyson should be out there today. Just ankle got rolled up on both guys. Should be fine. Probably a little more limited today. You'll see Roy back out there. He's been cleared, so he'll be limited though. We're going to monitor his reps. Josh Proctor, Dewey had illness last week, so they both missed a couple days. We've had a little bit of illness going around, but I think that's everybody. I think that's that we've talked about.
Yeah, for the most part, I think that's, and who knows who else may have been impacted to some degree. He says a little bit of illness going around, if you want to speculate, hey, Trevor Lawrence looked ill on Saturday. You know what? That makes you feel better. Fine. Go that route. All right. More from Doug Pederson. I don't know what you could tell yet because the pads go on tomorrow, but what are his thoughts on short yardage with the offensive line?
Yeah, no, I mean, we know we can improve there, get better. I think, once we get the pads on this week and we really start, kind of buckling down, I guess, in that part of it, we'll see where we are. But I like where we're headed, right now, what I've seen so far in the first 4 days. And it's I just got to, we'll have a short yardage period coming up later this week, in pads, and you see exactly, what can be. And I think that's the thing you got to really realize, that right now, being in shorts, you can't get a lot done.
Obviously, more to see on all that when the pads do go on tomorrow for the offensive line and how much they can improve in that area, but they feel like they're going to.
You almost feel like that's the number one thing you want to see, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, like, pads are on. Let's run it right up the gut.
Yeah.
And can we get any movement?
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of the response this morning to the question of the day has already been the name Mitch Morse. Right, just seeing that guy in pads and Jaguars pads for the first time and what that's going to look like for the whole offensive line is something that I think a lot of people are interested in what that's going to be for the team going into 2024. For the second year in a row, Tank Bigsby is apparently having a pretty good offseason, right, and a pretty good start to training camp. And the hype was real at the beginning of training camp last year, and it's still there here in year 2 for Tank Bigsby. Coach was asked about what he expects Tank's role to be in 2024.
Yeah, I think Tank has a bigger role, this year going into year 2, and it's something that we've been looking at. We definitely know we got to take a little bit off of Travis and keep him healthy for an entire season, and Travis does a great job with that. But yeah, I think Tank's role can definitely increase, especially in those short yardage situations.
Hard not to. All right, based on last year, I think they'd like it to be this year what they envisioned it to be last year. And you lose confidence when you got a guy laying the ball on the ground early on. I mean, we're not here to make sure you feel good about yourself. We're here to perform, and he got behind the 8 ball and took him a long time to recover. A couple more before we hit the break here. Just red zone. That's where a lot of the struggles have come offensively, seemingly, when the field compresses. So, Doug Pederson's thoughts on red zone periods to this point.
Well, you're right. We're not game planning our defense, and they're not game planning the offense. So we are installing plays, they're installing defenses, and we just go out and execute, and want to see what our guys know and can they play fast. So a lot of situations are not conducive. A route combination may not be conducive to the coverage that they're playing, right? I mean, those are all, and we don't care about that. Again, we don't. I want to see what guys know. Are they running the right routes? I want to see if Trevor's going through the progression. I want to see, if it's a team situation, protection aspects to that. That's the teaching part of training camp. We're not in week 5. It's day 5 really of practice. So we're not scheming, and so it does make it look awkward that the offense may not be scoring every touchdown every time we put the ball in the air.
Yeah, look, it hadn't been great in the red zone for the offense, obviously, and the next question for Coach was about the results in the red zone period and how much that matters.
Yeah, you want to score on every play, and we're competitive on the field. But, if we're not scheming and game planning, it's hard to just go, you want to, a touchdown's a touchdown. It's a weird dynamic. It happens. It's every year in training camp. It's just the way it is. All 32 teams are going through the same thing. This time it's early. Everybody's putting in their offenses. Everybody's putting in their defenses, and there comes a time in camp when it's so like they know exactly what's coming, and we know exactly what defense is going to be, but at the same time we want to see what our guys know.
Yeah, like I've seen some talk like, oh, Press Taylor's getting out coached. Like that's not at all what's happening. No. They're saying we're going to run this because we want to get a look at this. No matter what defense you're putting out there, there's no adjustment. There's no, trying to guess what the defense is going to do and trying to counter that. You're just like, this is what we're running. Like Doug said, go through your progressions. Are you making the right decisions? And are you throwing the ball accurately when you've got those opportunities? That hasn't always been the case up until this point.
And both sides are telling each other, can you give us this look?
Yes,
right?
To some degree.
We're at that point in camp. Those kind of things go on. It makes sense.
But you're a defense, Tony. You've seen these guys line up in a formation. You're like, all right, it's one of a handful of things that they're going to be running here, so that you don't normally get that in a typical game day situation where you're switching things up during the week to try to confuse the opposing defense. Again, not making excuses. No. Got to be better.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. Lauren Brooks is going to join us. She was out there this morning, and she'll give us the bird's eye view if in team situations if things did get better for the Jaguar offense. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more Doug Pederson, Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark here with you. This is Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Headed into day 5 at training camp, head coach Doug Pederson spoke to media this morning on what he's liked so far about the defense and what he's still looking to see with different players playing at different positions.
They're playing fast. They're playing with some speed, and obviously we'll find out the physicality of it this week, when the pads come on. But just like how they're lining up, they've been more aggressive on the corners, with the alignments and different things. So, and moving some guys around, it's not the same guys. We're trying to figure out pieces, right, and who can fit where and who can play in different spots. So it's been good.
Courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
It's time to fire up your grill, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our independent sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our independent sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers, how does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound, and a signing bonus? Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Hey there, weekend warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
On the field, he brought the boom.
I'll always be a linebacker at heart.
He brings that attitude to the microphone.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Kyle McMahon.
Friday from 10 to noon. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey folks, Curtis Dvorak here. Are you a golfer, pickleball player, or a concert lover? Well, if you said yes to any of those, join me for the first ever Patriot Games on Saturday, September 21st at the Yards in Ponte Vedra. All proceeds benefit Operation New Uniform, which is a transition training program for service members, veterans, and military spouses. For more information, visit onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org. Hope to see you there.
Vegas, baby. This is Taylor Dahl from Helmets and Heels, and we're sending one lucky listener to Circa Resort and Casino this December. Win a free 3-night stay with $200 food and beverage credit, plus a daybed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen at Circa, you'll huddle up with the Heels at the Overhang Bar for our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and giveaways. For a chance to win this all-in package to Circa with Helmets and Heels, enter at 1010XL.com/Vegas.
And if you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, Circa Resort and Casino has a special rate just for Jacksonville fans. Mia here, and for just $500, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 in food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available till August 30th, so act now. Book and join the Heels in Vegas. Visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, more from Dougie P here momentarily. We'll get to Heath Farwell as well, as they'll kind of blend in talking about these new kickoff rules, Tony, which I don't know if anyone really knows what's going to happen with this whole situation. I don't know if you're going to learn anything from watching the preseason. Mm-hmm. I know Doug is going to reference watching Thursday, is it this Thursday Hall of Fame game?
Believe so.
Man, yeah. It's right on top of us, right? But on the one hand, you want to try things out. On the other hand, do you want to show your hand in the preseason? I don't know. It's one of these great unknowns. We'll find out one way or the other. All right, let's get to Dougie P here. A few more selected because, like we mentioned, not enough time to get to everything today, and that's a beautiful thing. It means there's a lot of opinions being given from the Jags coaching staff and the players themselves. So, what has Doug liked about what he has seen from the defense so far?
They're playing fast. They're playing with some speed, and obviously. We'll find out, excuse me, the physicality of it this week, when the pads come on. But just like how they're lining up, they've been more aggressive on the corners, with the alignments and different things. So, and moving some guys around, it's not the same guys. We're trying to figure out pieces, right, and who can fit where and who can play in different spots. So it's been good.
Look, if I were going to choose, I'd like to hear, as I said, I want Trevor to stack some days, right, where it's like, oh, damn, this guy's carving them up. But as you face your opening opponent, the defense needs to be on point in that game more than the offense, right? Like
you would think. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Tua and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert and Devin Etienne are a serious issue to deal with. So love to hear. I hope the defense is ready to roll right from the jump. And Miami's going to have some issues defensively because of the injuries that they're dealing with right now.
They absolutely will, yeah.
Just keep the Jags offense healthy. They could have an advantage simply on that front. in week 1.
We'll see if they're able to establish anything like that. We still got a little bit of time between now and then. Still 3 preseason games. Tampa coming in a couple weeks for a couple of scrimmage days with the Jaguars here. So a lot of time still for the offensive side of the ball to pick it up, right? But the defense has started hot in training camp for the Jags. And Coach was asked about the defense this morning, and he said they've kept it simple to this point.
I mean, not really. I mean, we got smart guys on defense, picking up everything. Simplicity is nice because they're doing the same things, both in base and nickel defense. And, that's what walkthroughs are for in the afternoons to get a lot of repetition there. So, but they haven't put everything in yet either. I mean, we're not seeing everything. We're not seeing a ton of third down exotic pressures and different things like that. So the base stuff has been good.
All right, so getting specific now. The loss of Devon Hamilton last year, how much did that impact what they wanted to do? Obviously, Tony, they gave him the extension.
Yeah.
Last offseason, they were expecting big things out of him. And does Doug Pederson expect him to be back to that pre-injury form that caused them to give him that contract extension?
I do. He's healthy, he's strong. He's doing some really good things out there. He's coming off the ball. I mean, yeah, it's good to see him back, to where he was, that pre-back injury. I mean, it's big. He's a stout player. He's a big player in there, and that was a piece that was really missed because now you're having to do it with maybe 2 other guys, and with him, he can play all 3 downs for you if you need to, and so that was a big loss.
It was, and we'll see what a fully healthy and ready to go Devon Hamilton might be able to do for that interior of the defensive line this year. We'll hear from Heath Farwell in a moment, but before we get to the special teams coordinator, the coach was asked about the new kickoff rule and what that'll look like.
Yeah, we'll definitely watch it. I don't know if we'll gain a lot from it because I don't think teams are going to do a lot with it. I think you're going to see, hopefully we as coaches that are watching it, that maybe we see some different types of kickoffs, whether they want to, missile a kick down there, put it on the ground, put it in the corners, down there, whatever, maybe some of that. But I don't think from a scheme standpoint, we'll see a whole lot, not right now in preseason anyway.
Is that for everybody? You think everybody's going to treat the preseason?
Yeah, we don't know, but why show your hand? If you think you have something that's going to work, keep it under wraps for when it really matters. And who better to ask about this than special teams coordinator Heath Farwell, who did speak. This was from Saturday and was asked about how he and the special teams are adjusting to the new kickoff rules.
We have a decent feel for it. We're going to learn more every day. That's what I continue to tell our guys. Every single day is different. I learn something new, and that's the great thing about football in general. You're always learning something new, especially when it's a completely different rule. That's going to be cool. We're going to learn every single day.
When they drafted Keelan Robinson, all the talk was about him being the second kick returner for the team. And every time we've heard Farwell talk about him, he's talked about all the stuff he can do on special teams.
He loves
He's a gunner. He loves the guy. And he was asked about it again on Saturday, and he said Keelan's been outstanding.
He's been great. Obviously, his returner ability is unbelievable. He's a kick returner. He's doing a really good job as a punt returner. But I think what the other portion of that is, what can he do in other phases? He's been great. His ability to play gunner. We did some punt gunner reps yesterday, more compete setting, and he was winning a bunch of them. And I thought he's a guy that's going to be a 4-phase guy. He's going to be a good player for us. So I'm happy what I saw in college, and he's even better than that.
You love to hear that, right? I mean, there's little doubt that Keelan Robinson is going to be on this 53-man roster. I mean, you're a draft pick, sure, you got a leg up, but not every draft pick makes the 53. And but they had obviously a role envisioned for him, but it sounds like, according to Heath Farwell, that he can do even a lot more maybe than they anticipated. And along the lines with the gunner thing, who's breaking down the gunners, right? We don't spend a lot of time talking special teams unless a field goal is missed in a crucial situation, something like that. But Heath Farwell says this is the best gunner group that he has ever coached.
This is one of the best gunner groups I've ever had. Obviously, DT's done it for years for us, been really, really good. Antonio did a fantastic job last year. He's a really good gunner. Jerry Jones is another one who's had a really good offseason in camp, and then Keelan. So between, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like we have 4 really, really good gunners, and this is probably the best gunner group that I've ever had.
One more here from Coach Pederson, continuing on the special teams angle of all this. He talked about, look, they got a new kicker in Cam Little, Riley Patterson. They're still competing at this point in camp, but it certainly looks like Cam Little is the kicker for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coach was asked about putting the kicker in stressful situations in camp.
No, I mean, those are things we want to, with 2 kickers, we want to put them under some stressful situations, and see what they can do. Cam's obviously got the leg to do it, and but yeah, we're going to continue to find ways of putting both guys in more stressful, positions, in the next few weeks.
Big announcement, Tony. I selected Cam Little in the 20th round of a 16-team draft. Kicker required league based on my own eyeballs. I mean, he's barely missed one out there.
Yeah.
The leg has been outstanding distance-wise. He's converted a couple of 60-plus, but really consistent in that mid-50s range. And Heath Farwell stated the obvious. Cam Little has looked really good.
Cam's done great. He's been really, really good. He's so consistent. He's locked in. He's competitive, and he is everything I thought when I went and worked him out. When I met with him, all those great interactions I had pre-draft. He's exactly what I thought, if not better. He's talented. He's doing it. He's been consistent. He's shown the leg strength. He's done all those things.
I will say, this was interesting before practice. Patrick Murtaugh, right, is a backup tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Big dude. Left-footed kicker, apparently. At some point, he's kicked because he and Little were out there, and they were just letting Murtaugh simulate kickoffs. Nobody, this is kind of warming up, right? Mm-hmm. But he was doing a lot of them. And like you've seen, I think it's Justin Reed with the Chiefs. They're going to use him. He's a position player.
Yeah.
They're going to use him on kickoffs because the anticipation is if guys do break containment, you're going to be one-on-one with the kicker. Kicker's going to have to make more tackles than ever. Murtaugh's a big dude now. I mean, he is a load. And I don't want to see Cam Little having to square too many guys up.
No, and we heard Farwell talking about that earlier this offseason. That's something they were looking at doing, right? Like, they may not have a kicker on kickoffs. We'll see exactly what that's going to look like because you probably need somebody bigger than that playing a real middle of the field, nobody helping you safety kind of position.
Murtaugh is listed, Tone, at 6'5", 250.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sizable, right? And I will say this. He was hooking a number of them. Don't give him 2 at the 40 now. You got to keep it in bounds. But
just get it past the 15.
At least it's something that may be on the radar that they're kind of kicking around. No pun intended.
Taking a look at it.
Truly no pun intended.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear a little bit from Devin Lloyd here, who, finding out middle linebacker is Devin Lloyd's spot. Now, you may see a lot of, I heard the guys talking about it on the drill, you may see a lot of 4-2-5 this year where you got 2 guys. Are they kind of, is one guy really a middle? Does it really make a difference at that point? But Devin Lloyd, to start off with, how does he feel about how camp has gone so far?
Yeah, feeling good. Obviously we're just looking to continue to keep getting better, finding little things to grow at every day. Personally, I feel, really good, especially putting on some weight. It's really just kind of getting your legs back, getting the weight back under you, getting acclimated to the heat. So just continuing to build, but feeling good right now.
The defense has been the better side at camp here early on, and Devin Lloyd said the defense has been flying around in his eyes.
I think after assessing the first 4 days on the field, I would say I'm pleased. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but guys have been really communicating at a high level, obviously flying around with a lot of effort and, capitalizing on obviously the turnovers and, the big plays that we need to get the ball back to the offense and playing sound defense. So, I'm really excited about what Coach is doing with us and just looking to keep building on that.
And one theme you've heard about Coach Ryan Nielsen, the defensive coordinator of the Jaguars, is that he is really hands-on, and Devin Lloyd said he pays great attention to the little details.
I think it's just making sure there's no gray area on any levels and each call. Every call has so many intricate details, and making sure that there's no gray area and making sure we don't see it one way and safety see it another way. Everybody's on the same page. Communication's at a high level, and it's complex but simple. It's relatively simple, and so it's easy for everybody to just be decisive.
Fans constantly text the show about, will Devin Lloyd be used as a pass rusher more this year, right? Like, it is a constant question. Devin Lloyd was asked about that a couple days ago. Will they be blitzing him more here in 2024?
We'll see. I know he believes in my skill set. We've talked about that. So we have most of the defense in. There's still some stuff. There's still a lot of third down stuff, which is where it'll show up. That we need to go over, But I know he believes in my skill set, and I believe in my skill set, so we'll see.
We'll see sounds like I'm not tipping my hand a little bit, which is fine. You don't need to tell the world about it, but we're eagerly waiting to find out. Will they utilize him in that capacity? Does Devin Lloyd feel like through the first week of camp, let's call it, that they've been able to frustrate the Jaguars offense?
I think we're all just looking to get better. Everybody has areas of improvement, and so they make some plays, we'll make some plays. That's what it's about, though. Iron sharpens iron. We just continue to help each other, one another, get to where we want to be, so we can be in the Super Bowl, which is where we all want to be.
No doubt about that. Where he is going to be is apparently lined up in the middle of that defense. So we'll come back. We'll hear a few more thoughts from Devin Lloyd about how this scheme fits his skill set. And, Tom McManus had some interesting comments on social media about that, with the idea of Devin Lloyd becoming a middle linebacker and Foye Oluokun more of a will. How will that work out based on what they bring to the table? So we'll hear from him, and we'll get into some others as well. We got a deep list of players that we want to hear from this morning, so we'll delve into that as we get into hour number 2, the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Tony Smith put it out there. Tone, I'm paraphrasing. I don't have it right in front of me. It's basically when the pads go on, which player are you most interested in watching their progress? So you can hit us up today on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
Never a law, baby. We're scoff laws to the nth degree. And so hit us up with your thoughts on that. And as Tony said, a lot of people want to see Mitch Moore. So let's get physical. Let's put the pads on. Let's go. It's interesting talking to Logs today. Figured they'd be in shoulder pads, kind of shells, but they've got those like little mini shoulder pads that they wear sometimes, Tone. It's not like the full set, so they're going to be jumping from, basically no contact into full contact tomorrow, and we'll see how that whole thing plays out. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Gators. Subscribe to the 1010XL Gators YouTube channel. Up-to-the-minute updates, instant reaction from Gainesville, plus the same 1010XL Gators podcast you've grown to know. And check out 1010XL Gators on YouTube.
Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Florida is coming soon and now hiring for technicians, sales, and all positions. If you or someone you know are looking for a new opportunity, apply online at genesisnortheastjacksonville.com. Equal opportunity employer.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, sports fans. Hicken here. Let's talk skin. I and Beach's Dermatology are reminding you to wear your sunscreen. If you're an active parent hanging at the fields, in your boat to fish, or like to chill at the sandbar, wear sunscreen. But if you're the one that decided for years it's not cool, guess what? Cancer isn't cool either. So when grabbing the clubs for your tea time, gassing up the boat, or grabbing the chairs for your kids' games, make sure you bring the screen. Any concerns now? Give Beach's Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Calling all disc golf enthusiasts. Play It Again Sports Jacksonville wants your used discs. Now through June 29th, earn cash on the spot plus $5 in sports bucks for every $25 of disc golf gear we buy. Play It Again Sports also stocks new discs from your favorite brands like Innova, Discraft, Discmania, and more. Stop in today and shop our huge selection. Merrill Road near 295 in the Merrill Station Shopping Plaza or online at playitagainjacks.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Get your first look at the team inside Everbank Stadium during our 2024 stadium practice Saturday, August 3rd. The season is almost here. Don't miss your chance to see the players up close before they take the field this fall. Stadium practice is free to attend, and seats are going fast, so register for tickets at jaguars.com/training camp. We can't wait to see you there.
Hey folks, Etienne here for Zero Res. You and I know Zero Res loves cleaning carpets in your home. But did you know Zero Res can also clean the carpets where you work? Take a look at the floors where you work, and if they need cleaning, suggest to the boss they call Zero Res. For the month of July, Zero Res offering 20% off all commercial carpet cleaning. Call Zero Res, and they'll come out and give you a free estimate on what it will take to get the job done. Zero Res, man, you spell it forward. Zero Res, you spell it backwards. Zero Res, it's the right way to clean.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Frank Franzi here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Ackerman Cancer Center's total body MRI is the latest technology in early detection. This comprehensive imaging goes beyond regular scans, providing a holistic view of your health in one 60-minute scan. Schedule your total body MRI at AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. FSU head coach Mike Norvell commented on his team's wide receivers after day 4 of fall camp.
They've been good. I mean, there's still some missed opportunities that we got to improve upon.
I like the group. We got some really good young ones that will put themselves in a position to potentially help us this year.
There's a new era in Florida high school sports. The Florida Department of Education voted to ratify the Florida High School Athletic Association rules from June, paving the way for high school athletes in the state to profit from NIL agreements. Former Florida Gator Caleb Dressel won another gold medal on Saturday as the USA dominated the 4x100 meter freestyle relay. The U.S. finished at more than a full second ahead of second place Australia. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:58, it's 85 degrees. Time at 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
I just want to be the best player that I can be. I want to go out there and just take it one play at a time each and every game and give myself to the team. I'll go out there and just do whatever I can to help win games and let the chips fall where they may.
Hayes Carline caught up with Travis Etienne over the weekend, and you'll hear a little bit more from the Jaguars starting running back coming up here. And again, all these interviews available all over the place, right? But you can go to the Jaguars Today or the 1010XL YouTube channel, all over the place. Go to 1010XL.com on demand. Listen to any of these one-on-one interviews. We just play you some snippets from them to kind of give you a little bit of flavor for what's going on down in camp. Before we turn our attention back to the offense with Etienne and Evan Ingram coming up here, Tony, a few more thoughts from Devin Lloyd. And I think these are probably the most interesting cuts we'll hear from Devin Lloyd. We'll start with this. What does Ryan Nielsen's defensive scheme do for Devin Lloyd's game in particular?
I think it's just going to allow me to, you bring up, match coverages, it's really just, there's no, you just basically take your guy right now, it's kind of no waiting for them. We're dictating it. We're not letting them dictate us. So I really appreciate that and really just playing downhill.
There have been times he's been lost in coverage,
yeah.
Right? Tom McManus, great resource that we have. Talk about that. He even noted that, I think, on the very first day of camp, is he, going to be better in that regard? Something you have to do as a linebacker in today's game. So he feels like ultimately this is going to simplify things. Like, you're matching up on the playground, right? I got this guy. You got that guy. It's not so much where what they're doing is dictating and trying to confuse you, and you're trying to figure it out on the fly.
Yeah, he's generally a good enough athlete as a linebacker to cover pretty much every tight end in the league. He's athletic enough to do that kind of thing. It's the slowing down for him. Most of the time when he gets burnt on something, it's because he's having to think too much, right? And it's, do I pass him? Do I take him? Where do I go? Like, those kind of things are what slowed him down a lot his rookie year. But you allow him to just be out there and be an athlete, I think that does put him in a better position to be successful. One more here from Devin Lloyd. This has been one of the storylines coming out of this first week of camp. He's going to be a middle linebacker. He was asked about what that means for him going into 2024.
Yeah, really just being in the middle, being in the box. I think obviously me putting on weight, that helps, engaging linemen. And I think that's really where I do most of my damage is in the middle.
No, we'll find out. Tom McManus talked about, you got to know coverages, you got to know fronts. There's a lot that goes with it. We'll get into that more with Tom later on in the week because this is a pretty important shift here. You got a guy in Foye Oluokun who you're shifting to weak side. Not that he can't. I've no doubt that Foye can play weak side, right? But you're taking him out of a spot that led to him leading the league in tackles the last couple of years. So we'll find out how it all works. Again, Ryan Nielsen has had tremendous success over the last couple of seasons jumping in with new teams, with new personnel, and raising the level of their overall defensive performance from the prior year. So there's reason to believe he's got a track record. He's going to do the same here in Jacksonville. So back to the offensive side, Hayes Carline with Travis Etienne. This is from after Friday's practice. Just kind of took us through the process of a running play. You think everything's so instinctual. What is going through his mind on a typical running play?
Basically, just understanding the blocking scheme. Most of the times, like a wide zone, we basically reading outside in, and I just seeing where the defense end is playing, whether a 9-tech, 6-tech, that means outside or head up, and that basically kind of give me. It kind of helps me just kind of play the game within the game. You can't predetermine anything in this league because things change post-snap. So you get your pre-snap, pre-snap something and post-snap validation. So basically just like I get my pre-snap read, but post-snap I got to continue to see it. So basically just trusting the backside. That'll be the biggest thing for me this year. It's just trusting that my guys are cutting things off backside so I'm able to cut it up and just be able to play within the scheme. So it's a lot that goes into it, but it's really all trust that comes to it at the end of the day.
Zone blocking, zone running scheme is gorgeous when it works, right? And, and what he's saying there, I mean, his yards per carry, talking about Travis Etienne, fell precipitously. Well over a yard per rush he lost last year compared to the prior season. And what he's talking about, you're running it wide. You're looking for that opportunity. Either you're going to take it wide, you're going to kind of take it right up the middle. Tom McManus was breaking this down last week. Or you're going to one cut, you got to recognize, cut it back. And when you do that, what he's saying, Travis Etienne is saying, you got to trust that those guys have the back end sealed off. I'm cutting it back. I can't be cutting it back into a crashing defensive end or a linebacker breaking through the line of scrimmage.
No doubt. And look, Etienne is a crazy athlete at the running back position. Like we saw the numbers on him. There were last year he had a moment where he was going 20 miles an hour by the time he hit the line of scrimmage. Like his explosiveness is real, and it's why he would be a perfect fit for a one-cut system where it's like get him some kind of space to run into and let him go, right? Like it makes sense for Etienne, but it is interesting to hear him talk about the process of what exactly that's like from the running back position. He went from 35 to 58 catches in his first and second year on the field. We'll see what that number is going to look like here in year 3 for him after missing his rookie season, year 4 in the NFL. But he was asked about being used more in the pass game.
I feel like it's great. I feel like that element of the game has always been there. I feel like we just need Press to call it a couple more in the game for real. But I feel like Press knows that. And I feel like what we are in this offense, this is my third year in this offense, and Trevor's third year in the offense. So we all kind of know what to expect. And we just really know what Doug is thinking. And I feel like Press has a lot of confidence in us now, just us being our third year in this offense. And he's going to just utilize us a lot more and really create matchups for us to go out there and be successful.
Yeah, there's a certain point in practice you're really not supposed to talk about formations, things. But I've seen enough in the early portion, particularly last week, on occasion. I'm not saying it's every snap, obviously, but they'll line Travis Etienne up wide, and let him operate as a wide receiver. Once upon a time, Urban Miller thought he was basically was a wide receiver when they drafted him. And darn it, could you imagine the catastrophe if Kadarius Toney had been available to this team?
Oh boy.
And where we'd be right now? Like, how many more, would Tank Bigsby have been drafted to be the starter? And then if he, how far down the road would we be with this position? Thankfully, things worked out, and the best laid plans went awry for the Jaguars in that draft. One more from Etienne. Just, having the continuity of the same offense, operating under that for him for his third year, basically missing his rookie campaign. What does that mean for him?
It helps a lot. It kind of goes back to I would say college, your first year, your freshman year, you don't really know much. You're just kind of in there. Sophomore year, you kind of get your feet wet. Junior year, you kind of become that guy. And I feel like this year for us, so we kind of serious in this offense. And, we know what to expect. We know what's going on, so there's no excuses. We just got to go out there and execute now.
Staying on the offensive side of the ball, Evan Ingram spoke after practice on Friday, so they've gotten another practice in, and they're having another one today since he spoke. But after practice on Friday, he was asked about his view on how the offense has gone so far in camp.
The energy is great. The commitment to the work. We understand it's the first couple of days. There's going to be some wrinkles here and there. But, I mean, from as far as the mental errors and the effort and the concentration has been through the roof. This early in camp, that's all you can ask for right now. So just love seeing all the guys locked in. We definitely got a little chip on our shoulder. That's the way we've been moving. The defense is competing well. We're protecting each other. I love the way we're working, and we understand that there's a lot more room for improvement.
Yeah, look, and this is, as you said, before Saturday's practice, which did not go swimmingly for the offense. Today looked like a little bit of a bounce back. We'll get Lauren Brooks in here coming up in about 15 minutes to give us her firsthand account of that, Tone. But I feel like there's a lot of these guys realize the opportunities there. Again, going back to the Hunt episode that the Jags digital team put out last week, that every year is a different team, right? You're going to lose a few coaches. You're going to lose some players. It's not the exact same unit. These guys realize what happened down the stretch last year, and that, you heard it from Dewey Wingard. Like under Doug Marrone, took him 2 years that he still didn't know his name on the team. Just a completely, and we expected going into games, we just knew we were going to lose certain games. That was the mindset, and it's not that mindset anymore. Now, mindset's great. You got to back it up with performance, but I do think one follows the other. So you're hearing a lot of that from these guys. How can Evan Ingram's game evolve at this stage of his career?
Whatever I'm asked to do, to continue to perfect that. I know I've been, really having a lot of success underneath in the past couple years, and there's still room for improvement there, and I'm in continuous search for that as well. But obviously hope this year some more opportunities downfield, get more vertical, and I think the way our offense is being built through camp, that's going to be a lot of great opportunities. So I got to go earn that as well. So definitely it's a journey and improving there, and I'm getting the reps and having the conversations with Trevor and getting on the same page. But really, whatever this team needs me to do, I want to maximize that role the best that I can.
Along those lines, Evan Ingram, the next question was about how he can get more of those downfield opportunities.
It's a lot of work that needs to be done on my part. I definitely would love to get more opportunities that way, but I gotta show that I can do it. I gotta prove that I can do it in practice, and get on the same page with Trevor. And there's some things that we gotta work on there. So I have to go earn that. And I think the way I work and the way I commit, and with the great coaches and teammates I have, and the great offense that we're building, we're all gonna get those opportunities. We're all gonna be able to eat off those opportunities. So as long as I continue to put the work in and seek improvement in there, I think the opportunities will come, and I have to cash in.
And there's no reason why he can't be more of a threat, stretching the seam or even on the outside, Tony. Again, mentioned this at the top of the show, doesn't take much. Jag fans are looking for a little something to get excited about. I'm just looking to see if Trevor's throwing the ball accurately early on, but Evan Ingram caught one up the right sideline that would have gone for at least like a 40-yard gain. Mm-hmm. And, the fan base reacted to that. He is the guy who's out there before practice really kicks in. Every single practice, he's catching balls from the quarterbacks. Not just, other guys are warming up and they're catching balls from assistant coaches and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Evan Ingram has been now, since he's been here really, change the perception of what he was in New York. He was a guy who dropped a lot of balls. He has not been that guy here. He has really worked on his craft. And you will hear the beat reporters who are there every day tell you that if you wanted to say Evan Ingram's the hardest working guy on this team, they probably wouldn't argue. There's probably a number of guys tied for that top spot, but there's nobody outworking.
Puts in the work. Yeah.
Right. He's putting it in. And so one final thought from him, just on the new offensive toy for Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., and Evan Ingram thinks ultimately the future will be very bright.
BT is super smart, super locked in. I don't think I've seen him have it in me once since he's been here. So that just tells a lot about his mentality, and the future is really bright for him.
ME, mental error.
I would assume.
Yes. And, bro, I've probably had 6 this morning. Good for you, because I've been doing this a lot longer than you've been doing that. But you love to hear that, right? Because he's got the tools. You see it.
Yeah.
You see the kind of athlete he is, the smarts, the diligence, those things. You continue to do the right things, put in the work, and good things will ultimately come. All right. We got Lauren Brooks from Helmets and Heels scheduled to join us coming up next, get some of her camp observations. She's been out there, I believe, every practice at this point in time, and I've certainly seen her out there, I think, every time, and I've been at each open one. Tomorrow the pads go on. What are our expectations for that and more? We'll do that coming up on the other side. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. The United States should pick up some hardware coming up in the pool. Luke Hobson had the fastest qualifying time in the 200-meter freestyle. Americans Emma Wyatt and Katie Grimes were 1-2, leading up in the 400-meter IM. Grimes is only 18. The Canadian Summer McIntosh is 17. She owns the world record in this event. Ryan Murphy and Lily King of the U.S. both won gold medals in 2016, silver 5 years later, now back for more in the men's 100-meter backstroke, the women's 200-meter breaststroke. The much-hyped tennis match, pretty much all Novak Djokovic. He beat Rafael Nadal 6-1, 6-4, although Nadal did at one point win 4 games in a row and had the Roland Garros crowd in a frenzy. If this was Nadal's last ever singles match, it comes at the place where he won 14 French Opens. Upset in women's water polo, the U.S., the 3-time defending gold medal winners, beaten today by Spain 13-10. With this Summer Games update, John Stashauer, Westwood One Sports.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in at my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey, John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJags.com. Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
The hottest trend in casual dining has expanded in Jacksonville with its 5th location off 103rd. The Flame Broiler serves up protein-packed rice bowls. It's fast, healthy, and affordable. Order online at flamebroilerusa.com or visit any of our 5 locations. Flame Broiler, simply healthy.
Need or want cash?
Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available, ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. WaterBoyJAX.com.
It's the coolest week to save during the summer fan sale at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Buy one fan, save 10%. Buy two, save 15%. Buy three or more and save 20% off all fans at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Showroom near the Avenues.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Jaguars Today
on 1010XL.
Used to love that game show, Tony. Remember that? The newlywed game? Maybe pick up a new refrigerator.
Is there a reason we're playing this?
I don't know. Lauren Brooks is here with us. So, LB, I saw you at a practice Saturday. I had a free afternoon. I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Did you do anything fun?
I did, yeah. I got married.
Oh,
it explains the song.
It's all tied together now.
Yeah.
We knew that. We were teasing. We knew that. I felt special, Tony. I got the notification ahead of time. This is going down on Saturday night. You and your longtime beau, Brian, tied the knot. Congrats.
Yeah,
I mean, that was just phenomenal.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Let's go to camp for our honeymoon. And, I mean, look, I love it. You're beloved around these parts.
Thank you.
You are the original Jaguars Today producer, so you're always part of the family. And just beyond that, you are like a person that seems like you always have a smile on your face. We all have our bad moments, I'm sure, but you are beloved, certainly in this room, in that room. And I don't know anybody who knows Lauren who doesn't think she's a phenomenal person and would not celebrate heartily what just went down. I just think it's phenomenal. We're so happy for you.
I know with Lauren, as the producer, every day she would come up with whatever our theme was for the show would be our rejoin music every time. Like today it might have been easy for you, right?
Yeah.
Like
those
different
were
ways
a lot
to
of
do
work.
it. Yeah.
What was I thinking?
Every day I was impressed.
I was clueless. I'd be like 4 deep. I'd be like, I got no idea.
She's like, what's the theme? We're like, I don't know. Like,
I didn't even recognize a couple because Lauren would lean into a little bit of country from time to time.
She would.
And
anything that I could get, like if the theme was 4, like for fourth down, any song that had 4 in it was going to be played that day.
Hey, and we would make it seem like because we couldn't come up with what you were going for that you obviously came up with a bad theme. I mean, that's
you did say that every day.
That's kind of the way it went back in the day. So anyway, congrats. We're very happy for you. And, many years of wedded bliss and on for Lauren Brooks and Brian. And congrats. And the doggo whose name is, Keaton. Dang it. I knew you told me this morning, and it was not for Michael Keaton. It was not named for Michael Keaton.
We go scalloping in the Gulf of Mexico every summer, and we normally stay at a little town called Keaton Beach. And so that's how we came up with the name for the dog.
I'm Bat Dog. All right. Anyway, let's talk. I'm like giddy for you. I just love it. I've given Lauren more hugs in the last 48 hours than I have
Sweaty
in a while.
hugs. That's what happens at training
That's what
camp.
you get at camp,
That's
right? So be it. All right. Your observations. Just tell us today. Better day for the passing game.
It's hard to get worse.
Right. So just in putting Saturday aside.
Yeah.
How would you look at the way the offense operated today?
Yeah, Saturday was incredibly disjointed, and today it certainly looked like it flowed better. Trevor Lawrence had a much better day today than on Saturday, and even some of the practices last week. Like you said, we've been out to every one of these, and we're going to overanalyze all of it, but the plus or the good thing is that the defense looks really good. I do think that Ryan Nielsen is a massive improvement from Mike Caldwell. And so the defense is energetic. They are talkative. But it was a little bit less today because the offense did have more success. And that obviously was great to see, and finally got to see a little bit more of what I was expecting with Brian Thomas Jr. because I wanted the Jags to draft him from watching him at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it does seem like he is at least being integrated more into the offense. And look, I get it. They only have 5 or 6 plays. So we are focusing on very few things, and the defense knows what's coming.
Yeah, and look, the pads go on tomorrow, so
I'm
everything
so excited.
changes,
That's my favorite day.
right? Like the intensity ratchets up. We all know it. Coach Pederson talked about it this morning. It's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like camp, it feels like in a lot of ways begins when the pads go on.
Agreed.
For these guys, it's a different kind of atmosphere out there. Who, obviously, we know the offense has struggled through the first 5 days out there, really, but who has stood out for you? Obviously, the defensive side has been the star side early on in camp, but has there been a player or two that has really caught your eye on that side?
Well, I always like to watch the rookies because I kind of know what to expect in the veterans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so even though Gabe Davis is new here, I still know that he's going to go through every practice and look like a professional, which is exactly what he has. So I've been watching a lot of Keelan Robinson, the running back, because of course they're going to utilize him probably more special teams, certainly to begin at least. But could he potentially take the place of RB2 and take over Tank's position? So I've been watching him a lot, and I think he's looked pretty good. He had some drops early in camp last week, but other than that, I think he's looked pretty good. I mean, it's just so good to see Christian Kirk out there. And so when Parker Washington makes a play, then Kirk can go over and talk to him, and you can definitely tell that it's good for that room to have his veteran presence.
I personally would be surprised if Keelan Robinson leapfrogs Tank Bigsby.
I would too.
Now, Tank
But
gets off
it's
to the
possible,
same start
yeah.
that he did last
Right.
year, that would be a different story. But I think there's been a focus on reestablishing Tank Bigsby's confidence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And, you can't worry about his confidence in the season if he starts off dropping the ball like he did last year. They had to go away from him at that point. But there's been so much drumbeat of we got to take a little bit of this work off Travis Etienne, who's taking like 75% of the workload, which is more than most backs in the NFL. I think Tank, again, we're not in contact practices, but from what we can see, every once in a while you could tell, oh, that would have been a big play.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's looked good again, without getting ahead of ourselves, because he was the darling of the offseason last year.
Yeah, he certainly was. And look, Tank Bigsby is a guy, he has all the athletic talent. That's why he stood out in training camp, and that's why he'll continue to do so this year. But like I said, I just wanted to focus on guys that have not been here before and see what they can do. I also like to watch Brenton Strange going into year 2, since we were talking about Tank. And he had, I think, 1 drop today, or the ball got kind of batted out. And that's one thing, again, going back to the defense, they've done such a good job of Foye and Devin Lloyd of just because the offensive player catches it doesn't mean they're not going to go in and try to disrupt it and get that ball out. And they've been successful doing that. So again, yes, the offense looked a little bit better, but it's still the defense out there. And I think 2 guys that I really like, Tony, watching so far, Jarian Jones and Ronald Darby. They've both had really good camps so far, and I think they're both going to thrive in Ryan Nielsen's defense. And I think they'll be on the field a lot together too.
Yeah, I heard John Shipley point out that Braswell is having a really good camp too, right? Like the bottom end of the cornerback depth chart is actually playing really well. The whole defense is playing really well early on. What do you like most about what your first looks at this new Ryan Nielsen defense has been through the first few days of camp?
Well, and as y'all know, we don't ever talk about formation, so I'm certainly not going to do that.
Sure.
But he's certainly mixing it up way more. Like last year, going to camp, you knew exactly where defensive players were going to be lined up because we knew exactly what Mike Caldwell expected out of them, and they pretty much ran zone, right? And that's why I think Trevor Lawrence has had a little bit more difficulty this year in camp so far, the 5 days in, because he's seeing more of a man defense than the zone defense. And so, yeah, I think Nielsen's defense is going to be really fun to watch because there's going to be guys lined up that you didn't expect them to be lined up there.
All right. As we don't do this very often, we play people in, but we don't always play them out. You are deserving of this. You and Brian are absolutely deserving.
I love this.
So as this song, which means a lot to you guys, plays, give us a little preview of what Helmets and Heels has in store today.
Well, we'll certainly continue the training camp discussion. Mia also over the weekend got, this is Queen, by the way, you're my best friend. Mia got a one-on-one with Cooper Hodges on Saturday, so we'll let you hear from him today. And also we're going to talk some Olympics, some U.S. women's national team. They played yesterday.
caught I don't know what's on at what time. You know what? All I knew
I will say it is overwhelming how many sports are on at all times because they're on so many channels. Like I want to be able to watch everything, but it's impossible.
I gotta say though, Peacock, basically you pick what you want to watch, and if it's on, it'll be on. And so I knew 11:15 I needed to be watching the men's basketball team. Then I happened to stumble into the ladies' soccer game at halftime. So
beat Germany.
Watch the end of that. All right,
yeah,
LB,
so we'll get into that and a whole lot more.
LB's off the market, guys. She's been off the market for a while, but officially put in the ring on it. Brian, good job. LB, we're so happy for you. You're
Thank
the
you.
best.
I really appreciate it.
We love you, and have a great show today.
Thank you so much.
All right, Lauren Brooks on the way out. We'll get you an update on what's going on around the world of sports coming up, and we'll come back and take a look at what is going down with today's Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day as well. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark here with you. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You want to lose the weight? Sure you do. A lot of people can help you lose weight. Can they help you keep it off? I was talking with Hacker this morning, who, again, looks absolutely phenomenal, over 80 pounds that he's dropped. My goal weight, I hit it last September. I'm actually a few pounds under that right now. That's how successful Awaken 180 has been with not only helping us lose the weight, but keeping it off, and that's a big issue. It's half of the coin right there, right? You can lose it, and I've done that plenty of times in the past, and I've always seemed to find it as well. Awaken 180 is going to turn your body into a fat-burning machine. They're going to teach you how to lose weight, how to eat, how to think about food, when to eat, what to eat, how often to eat, and all of a sudden, your habits are going to change dramatically, and so is your waistline. 844-346-1800 is the number to call if you want to be the next Awaken 180 success story. That's 844-346-1800, or schedule a free consultation online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars veteran tight end Evan Ingram spoke to media after the first few days of training camp, explaining the difference in how the team looks this year versus last season, and is excited about the team's leaders in the locker room and what they can accomplish.
There's a lot different for sure. I think it starts with the players, starts with the leaders in the locker room. I think we're just moving different a little bit. I'm not going to go into detail, some of the things that we've talked about and came together about, but we're all moving different. And I think there's just a lot more sense of urgency, a lot more belief in what we can accomplish.
Courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet. It's Florida's only legal sportsbook. Hard Rock Bet is the way to go. Easy sign up, fast deposits and withdrawals, PayPal, Venmo, cards, and more. They take them all. And we're talking hundreds of props, parlays, live play-by-play betting across every sport. And you can bet from anywhere in the state of Florida. If your first bet doesn't win, you get up to $100 back for another shot. Download Hard Rock Bet now or go online at hardrock.bet.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
The following people are under the influence of no air conditioning.
Oh, man.
Is it ever hot? I can't get up. My legs are stuck to the chair.
Can guys go through menopause?
Why?
I think I'm having a hot flash.
Don't let no AC happen to you. Call Duck Duck Air Conditioning, available 24 hours a day, and they'll fix it right the first time. When your AC system needs a repair, it's time to call Duck Duck Air, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckac.com. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, a division of Duck Duck Rooter. Wake up and smell the golf balls.
Brunch with the Tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Uphill putt for birdie. Brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A. Tuesday morning at 8:30 on 1010XL.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home this week at 121 Financial Ballpark. Bring your dog tomorrow for a Forever Vets Dog Day. Then it's Five Star Good is Everywhere Wednesday featuring Dreams Come True. This weekend starts with Coors Light Thirsty Thursday and Fireworks Friday and Saturday. Baseball all week and weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable. Family fun.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing sports. Fall and winter registration is underway. Log on to i9sports.com and see all they've got to offer. Kids 3 and up. You can enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount for year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for fall and winter. Great locations added like Fort Family Field, Westside Middle, and Duval Charter Bay Meadows. It's all online at i9sports.com.
How far is it from the surface of the earth to the core of the earth?
Is your home your most valuable asset? It is for most of us, and Southern Oak Insurance recommends an annual review. Log on to southernoak.com for more information.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
From the surface to the core of the earth is about 1,800 miles and has a temperature of over 9,000 degrees, hotter than the sun.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, man, it flies by, Tone, when training camp arrives, right?
No doubt.
I mean, you know, you wait and wait and wait. Now it's here, and it's just so much stuff. Christian Kirk spoke after practice today. You probably hear some of that throughout the course of the day. Today, we'll bring you some of that tomorrow. Ryan Nielsen's going to speak before practice tomorrow. Once again, Foye Oluokun after practice. And keep in mind, if you've been waiting for a weekday practice to go to, and by the way, the crowd today, pretty comparable to what I've seen all throughout. You know, it's been an outstanding crowd. I think mostly every single day that it's been open practice for the Jags. And they have a lot of open practices.
Are they lit?
They are lit as
the sun
can
lights
be.
it.
What do they say? Dylan, what do the young kids say? Lit as what is it?
Lit? It's just lit.
Oh, just lit. Okay. Because I was thinking there was like lit Air Force somewhere in there, Tone.
Yeah, I don't know
Lit AF? No, that's not a thing.
Negative.
All right. Anyway, I can't speak for whether they were lit, like in terms of alcohol consumption, but in terms of enthusiasm, you know, all it takes is 1 30-yard pass from Trevor Lawrence completed to somebody, and they are lit right now.
Yeah. Mike DeRocco, by the way, here in the last 5 minutes, tweeting out good bounce back day for Trevor Lawrence after some issues last week. Accurate with his passes, hooked up with Brian Thomas Jr. on a deep sideline touchdown pass. Did have one interception during a one-on-one drill. Christian Braswell stepped in front of that one. And as I said, Shipley I saw already say Braswell's had a heck of a camp here early on. And that's a guy I don't know how on or off the roster he is right at that cornerback position right now, but he has had a good camp, had another one this morning, getting one off Trevor.
Well, you hear about him, and you're not hearing buzz from Trey Flowers or Monteric Brown. Not meaning they're doing poorly out there, right? We're not breaking down the practice film through Ryan Nielsen's eyes, and I think tomorrow will be more telling for everybody on both sides of the ball. Pads go on, intensity level gets ratcheted up. You don't want to get embarrassed. It's a physical game. This is your really first opportunity to impose your will physically on the guy lining up across from you.
Yep.
So before we get to today's question of the day, a little recap on that. Tony's going to take us around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
2 big quarterback deals got done since we got done on Friday. The Miami Dolphins and Tua got a 4-year, $212.4 million deal with $167.1 million in guaranteed money. Green Bay got a 4-year, $220 million extension done with quarterback Jordan Love. The Love deal included a $75 million signing bonus, the biggest in NFL history in that regard. The Detroit Lions and offensive lineman Taylor Decker have agreed to a 3-year, $60 million extension with $31.8 million guaranteed. The LA Rams are taking it slow with the recovery of cornerback Darius Williams, who suffered a hamstring strain in practice on Thursday. Pittsburgh quarterback Russell Wilson is expected to have his calf evaluated again today after missing his 4th straight training camp practice on Sunday. Dallas defensive end Sam Williams was carted off the practice field yesterday after suffering a left leg injury. He will be undergoing an MRI today to determine the extent of that injury, but the initial fear is that it is an ACL injury and that he's likely to miss the season. Cornerback Darian Conley, a first-round pick by Oakland in 2017, who last appeared in a game for Houston in 2019, was signed with Dallas in June, announced his retirement yesterday, released by the Cowboys later in the day. Kansas City defensive tackle Chris Jones missed practice on Sunday with a strained groin, but the injury is not considered to be serious. Chiefs running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire and wide receiver Marquise Brown both missed practice with an illness, and the New York Giants signed cornerback Breon Borders, which is not something that I would typically include in this segment. But to make room for the Borders deal, the Giants cut quarterback Nathan Rourke.
Damn it! We can get him, does that mean we can get him back?
Yes.
He's
Championship.
Available. Yeah.
So we got 4. How many quarterbacks on the roster now? 4?
We got 3 at the moment.
So we can get 4.
Sure, we can.
Do it.
We can have 6 if we want. It's training camp. Have as many as you like. You just got to make room for them by letting somebody else go. So, man, really thought. And all right, for all the Nathan Rourke truthers out there,
never got a chance.
It couldn't beat out Daniel Jones, or even be on a depth chart with Daniel Jones at the top of it. Right? Like, all right. So
let's move on.
Thank you, Pockets. I think that's exactly the correct sentiment there. All right. So today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Which player are you most interested in hearing about when the pads go on for the Jags for the first time tomorrow at Training Camp 2024? It's been about a 2-way split from the reaction that we've gotten on social media. Dylan, why don't you tell us, who are you most looking most forward to hearing about, hopefully in a positive way when the pads go on?
I was going to initially go DB, but I don't think guys on the outside, your role changes as much once the pads come on. So if I go in the trenches, I'm going to say Devin Lloyd, the guy we played some audio from earlier. What he's going to look like playing that middle linebacker position. I can't really say anybody on the offensive line. You can't really see anything. I don't think you're going to see much from Mitch Morse. You just don't watch a center in camps. Usually you see something in the game. So if I had to pick one in particular, I would say Devin Lloyd at linebacker.
I disagree. I think they're going to run short yardage tomorrow, and you're going to be – are they getting push against what we feel is going to be a pretty good front four on defense? I think is something that a lot of people will be looking for. I understand what you're saying. Typically you don't focus in on the interior of the offensive line, but I think there will be at least one period where – That to me is the focal point of practice tomorrow, and it's going to be ongoing. It's not going to be the only time they have pads on. Tony, who's the one guy for you?
It would be Mitch Morse. If I had to pick one guy, it would be Mitch Morse because he is the new guy and he's the one position they changed there on the offensive line. So I agree with so much of what we got in this morning. If I had to put a second guy on the list for me, it would be Devon Hamilton. Is he really back? Because if he's really back, he played really well at the end of 2022. And it's why he got the contract extension here. He was a guy that I was excited about going into 23. We were talking about at this point in camp last year, he's the best defensive interior player they have, right? And last year went the way that it went. And now they're talking about him being back. Well, let's see it. And the pads go on for the first time tomorrow. So that would be number 2 on my list, but it would be Morse at the top.
The overwhelming amount of responses we got are either Mitch Morse or Mason Smith.
Yes.
Right? Which, very intriguing, both of these guys to me. So I'm going to try. Look, first off, number one guy for me is Trevor Lawrence, right? But that's obvious, right? That's every practice.
Yep.
You know, pads, no pads. I want to see how he performs. But I get it. When the pads are on, you can look to the trenches and get a better sense of exactly which side is winning. Is it a stalemate? Is one side dominating? Whatever the case may be. So, Dylan mentioned he was going to go with the secondary. I mean, Ronald Darby's having a really good camp by all accounts up until this point. And let's see, as, you can start to get your hands on guys a little bit. And he has been a guy who's excelled in press man throughout his career. This is the guy that they brought in. They let Darius Williams go, who, by the way, has been nursing, I think it's a hamstring, and
yes.
he's week to week, by the way, not even day to day. So he wouldn't, you don't know if he would have gotten hurt if he were here, but, he's there, he's gone. Darby so far, I think, is making them look smart. Jarian Jones has had some pretty good reports as well, but for me, if it's not Mitch Morse, it may be Ezra Cleveland, right? Did we see the real Ezra Cleveland last year?
Mm-hmm.
Was he ever 100% healthy? Because it's not just Mitch Morse just can't be like, hey, I'm just busting it up the middle here. Either guy on either side of him, it's going to have to be that combo of you can't let them shoot the A-gap on either side of Mitch Morse. I probably can't stick around for it tomorrow, but the reports on if they go live goal line, live short yardage, that's what I want to hear about more than anything. Trevor in the passing game, always want to hear about that. All these guys. Want to see Brian Thomas get off the jam at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
There are a ton of guys, Tony, that I think fit this bill, but dang, man, let's get it down. I want the offense to have some success. Now, that doesn't mean I want the defense to get pushed around like a rag doll, but if Mitch Morse really is, according to some metrics, the best run-blocking center who didn't retire this offseason, let's see it show up tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, it's a team that I don't think that you have to be great, like over-the-top improved, right? It's the 2 or 3 times a game where 3rd and 1 can turn into a first down. I think they win at least one more game last year if that changes, right? And I don't think you need a massive improvement. One more 3rd and 1 being turned into a first down might have been enough for the team last year. And I certainly think Morse should at least open the door for the opportunity to get that kind of thing and at least get Etienne back to what he was in 22, where he wasn't being hit 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage so often, which is what really killed his yards per carry last year. I didn't think Etienne played any worse than he did the year before. I think his offensive line really let him down throughout much of the 2023 season. And I think if you get back to that kind of balance where they're just not in the way of what they're doing up front, and I think Morse is an accomplished enough run blocker as a center that they got the real opportunity for them to be better than that, right? Like he is, based on last year, the only player, the highest rated player coming back this year at the run blocking stats for a center. That's massive improvement for a team where that was, Fortner was in the way of so much of what they wanted to do. And it wasn't just in the run game. He got pushed around the pass game too. Like he was a big issue for them, especially in the second half of last season. And that's when things really fell apart for the team.
A couple here in response, going a little deeper. Doom said Morse need him to be what we hope, move people around. Scott said Mitch Morse, but really the entire offensive line. Can Mitch and a healthy Cleveland and company control the line of scrimmage? What else here? From Bush Drive Rich, Mason Smith and Jarian Jones want to see both players make a push to start in their positions. And again, look, I'd love to see Jarian Jones make that push, but right now, Ronald Darby's playing really well.
Yeah.
And that's a great problem to have, right? You don't want it to be, Jarian Jones, he's a rookie. His head's kind of swimming around there. It's too much for him. And it hadn't seemed like that's been the case at all with him through the first 5 practices or so. And but it's just that Darby has really excelled. You don't see a whole lot of separation between the guy Darby is on and him. There's not much daylight there. Let's see. Only one. Let's go with Trayvon Walker. Dude is going to take a huge step this year, said Andrew. Curiosity picks include Antonio Johnson, which we haven't heard much about Antonio Johnson. Devin Lloyd, Mason Smith, Max Morse there. Once again, Mason Smith for sure. For Gary, another Mason Smith. A lot of that. Mason Smith is a massive human being.
Yeah.
Right? And he's a bit of a question mark because the injury in his freshman year, he went from being like a top 10 prospect in the nation going into LSU to getting hurt early. He had the aura around him of being a future top 10 type pick. Does he have that promise still in him? We're not going to learn it all tomorrow.
No.
But I want to see him get his hands on some guy. I'd like to have the offense win 51% of the reps, the defense win 49. Right? That's what I'd like. I'd like to see, if they do short yardage, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, 10 times, let's pick it up 6.
Yeah. I do think the depth chart as kind of the edge guys on the team is interesting, right? And with the pads going on for the first time, you really get a chance to evaluate it.
Sure.
For the first time with Travis Gibson, what is Yasir Abdullah? Is he even on the team this year?
Is Miles Cole going to be a factor, or is he going to be a practice squad guy?
I think those are really interesting questions, and we can't really start to answer them until these guys get to hit and get to be blocked. Until that starts tomorrow when the pads go on.
Let's wrap it up, Dylan.
Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
I don't want to cool down. I want to heat up with the Jags putting the pads on tomorrow, Tone. I mean, it really, again, it's a don't let the pendulum swing too far emotionally kind of situation that we're in right now. They got out of the first week basically unscathed in terms of major injury. We've had some days where the defense dominated. Is it just that? Is the offense struggling? It's hard to know sometimes. Saturday, I definitely think the offense contributed mightily to that issue. More of a bounce-back day today. So, again, we're not going to live and die with every single swing of the pendulum here. But really, the key storyline here today is congratulations, Lauren Brooks. Mm-hmm. Come on. LB, one of the original Jaguars Today members, getting married this weekend to her longtime beau, Brian. So congrats to them and their dog, what is it, Keaton? Yeah, it's Keaton. I just have to think Michael Keaton in my head because I don't know the town that she's talking about. But congrats, LB. We've got Helmets and Heels coming up next. Tomorrow I'll be out there at camp. I'll take in what I can. I'm pretty sure the good stuff will happen once I leave and make my way back.
It's always the last couple of segments of practice. Yeah.
However, we'll try to get somebody on who's out there throughout the entirety of practice.
Well, you should be out there for the one-on-ones.
Hope so.
That'll be relatively early in practice.
Absolutely. I'll be out there. I've been out there relatively early in practice. I've been out. I've been saying I need to wise up and get there about 30 minutes later because there's not a whole lot happening that first 30 minutes.
Got to see the stretch lines.
But I like to get out there. I got my routine. I'll be out there before 8:30, and I'll be on the field as they start things. A lot of, like you said, Dylan, a lot of stretching, all that kind of stuff going on. All right, that's going to do it for us today. We appreciate you playing along with Jaguars Today once again, and stick around. Helmets and Heels will have tons of that Jaguar training camp content that you're looking for and a bunch more beyond that. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. This has been Jaguars Today. Back again tomorrow from 10 to noon on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. It has begun.